Okay, so today we'll be presenting about the pros of body cams. So body cams have the capability to do facial recognition by searching criminal databases. So we are debating, should police body cams be fitted with facial recognition software? So before we dive into the argument, it's important to understand the basic technologies we're talking about and why they become such a big topic of discussion. Facial recognition technology, or FRT, is a type of biometric software that can identify individuals by analyzing their facial features. Things like the distance between the eyes, the shape of the jawline, and other unique characteristics. It's already used in a range of settings like unlocking smartphones, checking in at airports, and by some law enforcement agencies for identifying suspects. Police body-worn cameras, or BWCs, are small devices attached to an officer's uniform. They record audio and video during law enforcement encounters and have been widely adopted to increase transparency, build community trust, and provide documentation for incidents in the field. Recently, advancements in software and processing power have made it possible to integrate facial recognition directly into body cam footage. This can work in two ways, either in real time, where the system attempts to match faces during an interaction, or retrospectively, where footage is analyzed later to identify individuals. This combination of body cams and facial recognition is starting to appear in pilot programs and is being explored by departments across the country. But while the technology is advancing quickly, it's also bringing new debates. Supporters see it as a tool that could enhance public safety and help police do their jobs more effectively. Critics raise concerns about privacy, surveillance overreach, the potential for bias or errors, and how these tools might impact civil liberties if not carefully regulated. We'll be taking a position on this issue shortly, but this slide is meant to set the stage and explain what the technology is and why it's generating attention from both the public and policymakers.
Next, I'll be talking about some of the pros of fitting police body cams with facial recognition software. So, we have the possibility of finding missing persons and perpetrators, the better reviewing of evidence, enhance reports and collection of evidence. So, fitting police body cams with facial recognition software would create a sort of enhanced surveillance network in which police forces would be able to look back in time and really pinpoint and determine who was at a particular location, and to sort of cross-reference with any testimonies and other things of that sort. And it would also save police organizations time and money because they wouldn't have to train and hire new personnel to review evidence and video footage to determine who was at a particular place at a particular time, because the facial recognition software would do it for them.
To illustrate our argument, we have an example scenario in which a police officer and a criminal both walk into a store. And the police officer does not recognize the criminal, so the criminal is able to leave the store and go on to perform a series of crimes. So this could have been prevented if the police officer wore a body cam with facial recognition software. So from the perspective of Kantianism, in the first formulation of the categorical imperative, we could universalize the moral rule and say that it is okay to wear body cams with facial recognition software. This would make it much easier to identify and locate criminals. Citizens would have less privacy because the cameras would be scanning everyone, but this is not a direct contradiction to the moral rule. So therefore it is ethical for police officers to wear body cams with facial recognition. So with the second formulation of the categorical imperative, if police officers wore body cams with facial recognition, they would be using citizens as a means to detecting and identifying criminals. So therefore it is unethical for police officers to wear body cams with facial recognition software in this case. And so because the second formulation fails, Kantianism as a whole fails in this scenario. But moving on to act utilitarianism, we can assume that with units of happiness, we can assume that detecting and identifying criminals would be plus 100 units for everyone except for the criminals. Decrease in privacy of citizens would be negative 100 units for the citizens, but video evidence of police officers acting inappropriately would be plus 50 units for people being arrested, and vice versa for the suspects. If a suspect is acting inappropriately, it would be plus 50 units for the police officers. So overall, if you add them all up, you get plus 100 units of happiness in total. And so, therefore, for act utilitarianism, it is ethical for police officers to wear body cams with facial recognition software. And now for rule utilitarianism, we could universalize the moral rule, just like in Kantianism. So it would be okay to wear body cams with facial recognition software. This would decrease in privacy would make citizens unhappy, but the increased efficiency in identifying criminals would make society safer, which should make a lot of people happy. In addition, having video evidence of a party acting inappropriately in a dispute would decrease the number of false accusations, which should make many people happy as well. So overall, with enough transparency and awareness, there should be a net positive in happiness. So it is ethical for police officers to wear body cams with facial recognition software in this case.
Now for social contract theory. Social contract theory is all about the idea that citizens give a little bit of their rights away for an increased protection by the government. In this case, citizens are giving a little bit of their right for privacy for an increased protection by the government. The justification for this surveillance is an increased recording of encounter between law enforcement and citizens, and dangerous individuals being detected through facial recognition. In the example, we see a situation where a cop encounters a fugitive but does not know he is a fugitive. Using facial recognition, he's able to see that this fugitive is wanted and apprehend the individual. Overall, the public would be benefiting from this, and therefore it is deemed ethical. Next, we have virtue theory. Virtue theory is all about character, and good character means it's ethical. In this case, as long as police officers act in good character and in good faith, then it's ethical. Using tech to protect and serve aligns with integrity and compassion, and as long as these police officers act in good character, then we're fine. Overall, yes, according to virtue theory, body cameras and the use of facial recognition software are ethical and promote to the overall well-being of society.
And now to go into the codes of ethics. For the ACM codes of ethics, the clauses that we chose were the ACM 1.3, be honest and trustworthy, ACM 1.4, be fair and take action not to discriminate, and the ACM 3.1, ensure that the public good is the central concern during all professional computer work. For the ACM 1.3, the purpose of body cameras are to capture video evidence of what transpires during the user's line of work. It is important that what is being recorded is not tampered with, so to deliver the most unbiased and truth of what is being recorded. For the ACM 1.4, body cameras must allow for the collection of unbiased evidence when used. This relates to the ACM 1.3 of being honest and trustworthy, as some extra software in body cameras, such as facial recognition software, must not be biased to include and not include certain ethnicities when recording. For the ACM 1.3, body cameras are developed for the purpose of increasing public awareness, accountability, and reducing instances of misconduct. Body cameras ultimately record evidence and are used as evidence in court, and can also help dissuade officers from misconduct, as they know that they are being recorded. For the SEI Code of Ethics, we chose the clauses of the SEI 1.01, accept full responsibility for their own work, the SEI 2.05, keep private any confidential information gained in their professional work where such confidentiality is consistent with the public interest and consistent with the law, and the SEI 6.08. Take responsibility for detecting, correcting, and reporting errors in software and associated documents on which they work. For the SEI 1.01, footage and data captured must be handled responsibly, and systems should be maintained. This is going to relate later to the 6.08, but basically, The people who create these body cameras must make sure that the footage that is captured by the body cameras are not tampered with and that they're kept safe from external factors, and that they should maintain systems when need be. For the SCI 2.05, the footage recorded from body cameras should not be exposed or shared improperly. As mentioned previously with the 1.01, the footage recorded from body cameras is extremely sensitive as it records what happens during in a crime scene or in an important case and shouldn't be leaked to the public unless requested and the holders of the footage willingly share it with the public. And for the SCI 6.08, software such as facial recognition or the recording software itself should be tested to avoid errors, and if errors are found, they should be reported and fixed appropriately. This is so that when police are in their line of work, the body camera does not fail. Maybe the facial recognition software fails to work properly, or maybe it just stops recording entirely due to a software error. These errors must be reported and fixed appropriately in order to comply with this clause.
So overall, having police officers wear body cams with facial recognition software would be beneficial because it would be easier to detect and identify criminals. There would be video evidence of a party acting inappropriately, and videos could enhance reports and training. So our argument is supported by ACT and rule utilitarianism, as well as social contract theory and virtue theory. Both ACM and SEI codes of ethics are concerned with honesty, responsibility, and confidentiality. So if these codes are obliged, police officers wearing body cams with facial recognition software would be beneficial to society.